whole world's off this year, so it was very cold for him and for Eagles fans.
Let's see what Howard comes up with.
He doesn't have to do much. He gets one or two big players. Yeah, you do that, they're unstoppable. Well, they really are, because it wouldn't matter how good a passing attack you have, you wouldn't have any time. Ever. I mean, you know. I haven't paid attention to it. Is Vaughn locked down yet? I guess. They lose him, that would hurt. Yeah.
They better.
Yeah.
They will. I think Howie said.
Good evening. I would like to call to order the March 4th, 2025 Borough Council meeting. You would all rise to the pledge in a moment of silence.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Break.
Yep. Grace?
Mr. Kliskevich?
Mr. Kliskevich? Can you hear me? Clue?
Yes, I hear you, thank you.
Are you you're present, okay.
Mr. Lister?
Here.
Ms. Lloyd?
Here.
Mr. Reddinger?
Here.
Ms. Reed?
Here.
Ms. Miller?
Here. I'd like to report on our last executive session. We discussed litigation and no action was taken. Now is the time of public comment on the agenda items. Seeing none, item number 1.
Do I have a motion to approve council meeting minutes for the February 18th, 2025 meeting as submitted?
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 2.
Do I have a motion to approve payment of bills as shown on the accounts payable list dated February 27th, 2025, which is for the period of February 13th, 2025 through February 27th, 2025, and to ratify approval of such bills already paid and to authorize the appropriate officials to take the required actions to make those payments?
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. We're going to be moving to executive session to discuss litigation. We won't be long. Okay, the meeting's reconvened. We're going to be taking action from the executive session, and Ken,
You can mention the executive session was about litigation.
litigation.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve and authorize the president or vice president of council to execute and deliver the settlement agreement in substantially the form presented by the solicitor to council in executive session to settle the litigation currently pending in Dauphin County Court of Common Pleas between the borough and Richard and Mary Heister relating to properties at 412 and 416 Vine Street?
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 4.
Do I have a motion to approve the special event request submitted by the Middletown Area Historical Society for the annual Arts and Crafts Fair on June 14th from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. in Hopper Park, with setup and tear down on June 12th, 13th, and 15th, 2025?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Grace, I'll be abstaining. Item number 5.
Do I have a motion to approve the special event request to hold Nerf Club events at the field in front of Hopper Park along Mill Street from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturdays, March 29, April 26, May 24th, June 28th, July 26th, and August 30th, and September 27th and October 18th, with the following Sunday of those months designated as a rain date?
So moved. Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 6.
Do I have a motion to approve the special event and temporary no parking request submitted by Bodhi Yoga and Wellness, permitting temporary parking for food trucks for their grand opening on March 8th, 2025, from 12:30 to 4 at 10 South Union Street?
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Are the owners here? Do you know?
I don't think so.
Okay. Just wondering.
Okay. Any other discussion? Seeing none? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 7.
Okay, before we get into a motion here, give a little report on our meeting with our engineer and DCNR about potential funding sources for our plan that we proposed over the last 2 meetings regarding the South Union Street Park, which is the former site of the Middletown Pool. And we just described the phasing as you see on the diagram up here on the screen. However, during the discussions at our meeting with potential funding sources, we're up against the timeline for this year, April 1st, to get an application in. And at the same time, we have identified a source of some funds from a 501c3 that I won't name at this time, but potential funds that would have to be acted upon this year to get those. So with that being said, we looked at altering this plan, basically making it cheaper than proposed in either of the phases there, so we could get something rolling this year and have phase 2 budgeted for the following year. So what we looked at was making phase 2 phase 1 this year. And also, part of phase 1 would be the part of the pool that's currently dewatered or semi-dewatered, that would be the demolition and the filling of that we looked at the possibility that our staff could do. And we could equate the labor and the cost to do that as a match toward a DCNR grant to maximize our dollars. So what we're going to do is, at our workshop on March 18th, we're gonna have a new drawing like this ready to show you the new phasing. And we're looking at an estimated cost of the first phase be somewhere around $700,000 to $800,000 instead of the $1 million that you heard last week. And we are achieving that by eliminating some things that we can add later when we find additional funds, such as the pier overlooking the Swedera Creek, which is rather expensive and requires some expensive engineering to get DEP permits for water encroachment. So you'll see that removed on the 18th when we bring in the next version of this. And probably some things like sitting rock wall retainers that were in there, and maybe the pergola, some things. But Matt's working with the engineer now to take some things out of there. But basically, you'll still have the same trail system, and you'll have play equipment. The 501c3 definitely wants to fund the play equipment, and the play equipment was listed somewhere around $300,000. So we're trying to make this all work into our budget where we think we can get to $700,000 to $800,000, but we'll have that finalized for you all to look at on the 18th, and we're going to ask you at that time if you're on board with our new proposal at the lower rate to vote for approval to move forward with an application to DCNR for a grant for that project.
What about the exercise equipment?
You'll see that on the 18th. You'll see more detail than I can explain tonight, okay? Because I don't know the numbers that Matt's working with HRG to get into that budget range we identified with the match from DCNR, what we think we'll get from our other private resources.
Funding, yeah.
And then the money that we have available. So we're trying to all make it fit into the dollars at this point.
Right, okay.
So that's why we're going to redo this phasing, and you'll see that on the 18th. And we'll need your decision on the 18th to move forward with the engineer's proposal to design and also to prepare the application to DCNR, because the application is due April 1. Again, one of the main things that's driving this in this short time frame is this potential funding we have that we have to get this year. We're going to get it, and it's fairly significant. So we'll have more on that, but tonight what I would like to do is have this motion here, which I'll read now. I'd like to have a motion to authorize the borough manager to request donations from private entities in order to move forward with phase 1 of the South Union Street Park project.
So moved.
Second. There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none?
I'm
Oh.
sorry. I have a question.
Okay.
So, by this motion, are we actively going out to various 501?
Just two of them.
Just two. Okay. Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, seeing none? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 8.
Okay, do I have a motion to grant an unreserved handicap parking spot at 154 North Catherine Street, subject to annual renewal as put forth in ordinance 1354?
So moved.
Second. There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none? Do I have... All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Now is the time for general public comment. Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn, and we will be going to executive session.
Real quick.
Wait,
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
hi Lucy.
How are you guys?
Good, how are you?
Good. So I just wanted to give a little update on the 164 North Catherine situation with all of the, some of you guys already know, right? The situation is not getting better. The behaviors are worse. And, I guess if you guys have any questions, I can answer. But, everything is the same, situation is worse, so I am doing as the homeowner what I need to do to acquire my peace and my safety. I do not feel safe in my home. Do not feel safe. Situations continue to arise, and when I call who I think I can lean on, which is our police department, I get this much of cooperation. Any questions?
I think you're describing a civil matter between parties and not the parking matter, correct?
The parking matter is included in it.
Right, but it's still civil, neighbor.
What's going on right now also is that twice, as most of you guys know, I work for Sheetz and I work overnight. And I also have a physical condition that required me to have the handicap space. So when my back locks and I can't work no more, I have to leave my job and come home. Twice there has been my neighbor's cars inside the handicap space. And the argument from our police department has been moved to another place, park somewhere else. So, you know, there's a reason why that is there. So why am I being requested to move somewhere else when I have been, as a faithful member of this community, I've done what I have to do to have that space.
Can I ask a dumb question? Does
Sure.
that person have a handicap
No,
plate on or anything?
no.
Okay.
No, I think the situation she's describing where the police showed up and told that person to move their car.
Okay.
And if it would continue, they would get a ticket the next time, I believe. I don't know how many times it's happened, but this is a matter that she'll have to take up with the police.
That would be a
typically when
police
it's parked-
matter.
So if I can stand correct, that's not what happened. What happened was that when I get to my house, they were already parked there. Of course, I call 911 when the officers show. The officers told me that they were only going to put a ticket on it. They weren't going to do anything else for me to park somewhere else. Why? Why?
Yeah, so they ticketed it, and she's expecting they would tow, but they generally don't tow until ticketed first.
It's
I
not, listen, it's not the tow situation. It's not that I want to be feisty and want them to be towed. It's that they need to understand that there's a regulation. Why are we not respecting the regulations that are already there? The sign says it really clear. If I go downtown to Harrisburg and I park in a handicap space without any placard, I get towed. The cop is not going to look for me, right? I get towed and I get a ticket put on the car. So the last time what happened was the officer explained to me that he had direct instructions by the chief of police to not tow any car that was in handicapped spaces. So
we're talking about policies between two different towns and their internal policies. I don't, we can talk to the chief, he's not here tonight, and relay your concerns to him, and, see what he has to say. I can answer to council after I talk to the chief.
okay, so I'm doing everything I can do. But that's why I don't feel safe in my own home. The invasion of privacy doesn't stop. It's worse. It's very disturbing how a neighbor can look inside my kitchen and inside my living room and inside my dining room. That's very disturbing. Would you any of you guys like to, be in a home where you're afraid to be outside because you're being watched by your neighbor?
I don't know anything about that, how to answer that.
I don't either.
Do you have blinds or curtains?
Sure, that's not the point. The blinds is not the point. I am entitled to my privacy in my own home.
Ms. McMillan, if I
I
could,
should not have to worry about who's, not be able to sit outside in my backyard or on the side because somebody is watching me.
Ms. McMillan, if I could,
That's not Miss McMillan.
oh, I'm sorry, I was reading from here.
Melina.
Melina?
164 North Catherine.
Okay. You're 164?
Sure.
And we just approved 154.
Right.
So 164 already has a handicap spot?
Yeah.
Right.
And now 154 will also have a handicap spot? Okay. And just so we're clear, they approved this tonight, but do you know that does not mean it's reserved to you?
I understand the law.
Okay.
I wanna consider myself as an educated person.
I wasn't asking that to be rude. I'm asking just,
I
people apply for
understand
these
it,
all the
yeah.
time. I just want to make sure you know that if some other handicapped
And
individual,
it has happened, that I have been at work, and of course I have to, I watch my cameras, and I've seen people park there, and clearly I can see the handicap, placard and the space.
sure.
So, I'm okay with that,
I really wish that Dan was here because really, unfortunately, we can't speak on the direction that the
Sure.
police department is given because we don't know, that's his thing. And
Right.
I'm pretty sure he'll be here in 2 weeks at our next meeting
Yes.
because he would best be able to address the issues, if, they were told not to tell and the specific issues.
they have body cams now, so it's on body cam, so,
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have that
I get
oversight
it.
of them.
I get it.
So-
I just participated tonight just in form of an update, so you guys know. As a 14-year resident here, I bought the home 14 years ago. And I used to love my street. I used to love my neighborhood. Now I'm more on the afraid part than loving it. So. Anything else somebody wants to comment? All right, thank you.
Before we adjourn, may I say something?
Sure.
Counselor Lloyd,
Yes.
I wanted to thank you. A few meetings ago, you shared some remarks in regards to my attendance,
I sure did.
and it moved me. It really made me realize how important it is for me to be here tonight,
It's
In
very
all
important
meetings.
for you to be here.
to represent the residents.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to thank you for that. And I wanted to also let you know, because I knew you had a concern with my stipends,
Yes.
last meeting, when I left, I had a mailbox full of them. And the next day, Wednesday, I took them to the bank and I deposited them in my personal checking account. And I wrote a check to the Middletown Volunteer Fire Company for that exact amount. So I
Oh.
did share that with the fire department. But I wanted to thank you.
Oh.
And I'm
Well,
back. And
It is great to have you back.
I'm not going anywhere.
Good.
I do want to say, though, for the record, so there's no rumors, I'm getting ready to start a project that's out of state. It looks like it'd be starting this month. I may miss a few meetings, but I will attend by phone. So there's no rumors like, oh, he's not here. I will attend by phone, but I do have a project starting out of state. So thank you.
You're welcome. Glad to have you back.
I'm sure you are.
I am. That's, it's your job.
Is there any other comment?
But at the bottom you say you have to be a borough resident, and I'm not, so I just would like to know who to call in and ask tomorrow. I put in a special event request, and I thought you discussed them here at the meeting, but from observing it, you must review them ahead of time and then just vote on them.
Did you just hand that in today?
Yeah, I just handed
It
in.
will not go until, it'll come before them on the 18th.
Okay, and then my next question is, how will I know if it's approved or disapproved? Will someone? Okay, thank you. That's all I needed to know. That was easy.
Anyone else? Seeing none, we will be getting ready to go to executive session, and I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Do I have a vote? All those in favor? Aye. Meeting's adjourned.